Which one is it, the small chubby one?
No, that's Jeff, isn't it?
Right. I can't recognise them anymore because they're all saying,
Dead thin, is. Dead thin.
Manic. Is that him? He used to have a shock of blonde curly hair when he was younger. Yeah. He was there, yeah. Is that your Robert?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, well, I don't even know. I'm not going for a drink. No. I go on my own. No, because you go, I wasn't really, I was friends with Albert.
Yeah.
But they were younger than us, weren't they?
Yeah.
But they were more our Paul's mates then. Paul and Alan.
Yeah.
Tell us the first night you went in the Reno days.
The first night?
Go on, yeah.
I can't remember the first night I went in the Reno.
Well, your first memories.
It was the Reno?
Yeah.
The first memories?
Yeah, of the Reno.
Meeting my two wives.
Go
That's where I met Nora, that's where I met Ines.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's two memories. I got one lot of jail from there. That's another memory. Got into loads of scrapes. Remember? All the scrapes. There used to be a thingy, didn't they, in the Reno? There was a certain time of the month that you could sense that something was going to go on. And remember Tony Cole?
Yeah, of course.
Well, so he was like into like the moon and all these things. And he said, I'm not going to Reno. I went, that's a full moon. There'll be trouble. And I went, no. Anyway, sure enough, it was. So I said to Dave Brennan one day, I'm not going to Reno this week. Why? I said, it's a full moon. And you know what Brennan's like? Oh, fuck off. Have you heard him? You know what Brennan used to do? Have you heard him? I'll say it's weird about the Reno though, because I went to the Alec first before I went to Reno, me and Snowy.
Yeah.
Then we gravitated to the Reno door, innit? Then we went in with Chris. That's how I remember going in Reno. Me, Snowy, Chris. And Cooley was already in there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The DJ. That's how I remember. So I remember that, you know.
What was your first feel? You know, what was your first thought when you went in?
It was good because the thing was we were used to shebeens, innit?
Yeah.
Because me and Snowy, we used to shebeen it all night. And Whitworth, you know Whitworth Park?
Yeah.
We used to kip on there's a hill, you know that hill in the park there?
Yeah.
We used to kip on the hill in the day and wait till this girl's dad's gone out in Hume, and we just go, no, have a bath and something to eat. Then get ready for the next shebeen. Because remember, it was the Denmark Cafe.
Yeah.
Mutton
House, they were all open then. So the thing was about the Reno, it wasn't kind of anything new because we was already used to blues, innit?
Yeah.
So already used to it. It's just that the Reno was the poshest part of Moss Side. You know, when you think about it, as far as clubs go.
Yeah, I've never heard that before, but you're right.
It was the poshest part of Moss Side, wasn't it? Because all the rest was blues and shebeens, weren't they?
No, it's true.
But remember with the long life, you used to get long life in 3 in it, weren't they, about that big, with a cardboard carton. They used to use it as a light switch shade. You didn't remember?
No. Did they? Cheap bastards, man. Yeah.
But I can tell you some good things about the Reno. Remember I don't know if you remember when it was flooded one Christmas.
No.
What happened was it was flooded one Christmas. That was in the time of flares. I remember now they were hanging down over your shoes.
Yeah.
And what happened was, Phil, not to be outdone for the Crimbo money, he bought a load of scaffold planks.
The bastard. Go on.
So most of the water had gone, but there was still a little bit left, but it wasn't as big as the scaffold planks.
Yeah.
So he laid them all out in the thing, but as everybody got dancing, the water started
jumping up.
Yeah. Everybody's clothes. Because you think about this. You always stunk when you come out of the Reno, didn't you, your clothes?
What, smoke and that?
No, it had a weird smell because I remember Nora said, I know where you have been, you've been to Reno, I could smell it on your clothes.
Right.
It had because remember there's no air in there, was there?
Yeah.
That ventilation was just one big fan on the wall near the women's toilets.
Yeah.
But there was no ventilation in that place, none at all. And I said, was when he bought some paint. He bought some pink paint, Phil, right? It must have been about 50 pence for 20 gallons, right? What he did was, it wasn't drying. And he painted all the stairs going down on the sides in his pink paint.
You never.
He did, and everything. Oh, but everybody got covered in paint. It just didn't dry. He slipped on the stairs, you could put it on the handrail, and he got pink paint on you. Phil.
The scaffolding, man. It's a wonder I've not heard that one before.
The scaffold pole.
The scaffolding planks.
Yeah, it was a Christmas, I remember it directly, because I had a pair of, I've got a wedding picture. Have you seen that wedding picture of Afro Girl?
No, wedding picture.
Yes, Steve Palmer.
Yeah.
He got married to this blonde girl, I can't remember her name now, but all Afro Girl, we all had Afros. We were all at church, St. Chad's in Withington.
Yeah.
By, is it Parswood Road?
Yeah.
But there's a big picture that was took outside, and I've still got that's how long ago it was, so it must have been either 75 or 76.
Yeah. It's before my time, so it must be 75. I go in 76. I was in at Christmas 76. So it must be Christmas 75.
When did you start going in? Because I started going in the 60s.
In Reno?
Yeah. Because I used to go...
Yeah, it would have done in the late 60s, it would have done in the Reno.
Mid-60s. Because it was...
No, I went late, because I didn't start going in till after I'd been to Boston. So, I started going in after I'd been to Boston. I went to Boston in 69.
Right.
No, I went to Boston 68, come out 69. That's when I met Snowy again, and that's when I went in the Reno.
Before then, because I used to go the wheel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I just got the wheel, Blue Note and everywhere.
Yeah, wheel, Blue Note, McGamble.
Yeah.
Right. Then we all sort of gravitated to...
Remember you had to go thingy first, so Hollingwood, remember? After the thingy was finished, after the all night was finished in the Blue Note, we used to go to, in Oldham, what was it called? Was it the Top 20?
Top 20 club.
I think it was the Top 20, oh yeah, in Hollingwood, we used to get the fucking long bus to Oldham. But then after a bit, from the Blue Note, we used to all chip up Sereno, innit?
Yeah.
Once the Blue Note finished.
Remember I was telling you the other day, one of the Avenida.
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Right. Not a lot of people could remember that. But we always used to go, it was all mixed race guys that went there.
So you also used to go there?
Back of Tib Lane.
Tony from Oldham used to go as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still with us.
He's still about.
He's still with us, Tony?
Yeah. Lives in Northern.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Wow. I've not seen Tony from Oldham for...
I haven't seen him for years now.
Tony from Oldham. He's got his little brother-in-law, hasn't he, Smiler?
What was that other club on Deansgate? By Bridge Street, up the stairs.
Bridge Street.
Down Deansgate?
Yeah. Bridge Street is where the big pub on the corner.
Yeah, was it a bird cage, a bird's nest or something? Used to go up the stairs to it.
Is this in the 60s as well?
Yeah, and it's sort of late 60s,
Yeah.
come 70s.
Hey, speaking of the Blue Note though, last year I was going to Glossop, and I went down the side of 8 Street, they demolished the dome, you know. It's gone.
Right.
I couldn't believe it, the dome's gone. No, because that was...
Yeah.
So anyway, I said to my daughter, I said, I can't believe it. I said, they're fucking knocking the dome down. She said to her, what was it like? I said, well, there were 2 queues. You went in one and the pretty little car, and you went to the other one and you got your money. She went, you what?
8
So
Street.
Really?
Yeah, you went there and they had a little yellow slip, and the guy behind the counter had like this long thing, what you had a little... Remember them John Bull stamps you could buy where you had a little tin and you had all loads of little numbers in it.
Oh, yeah.
He had one of them, and he just had, it was about that long, and he just put 2 numbers if you were getting your money. And then you went to the other queue, and the guy handed you money over the counter.
What, in a little brown envelope or something?
No, in cash, you used cash.
Oh, just in cash?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
No, and then Marissa said, didn't he ever send you for jobs, Dad? I said, yeah. Sometimes in the winter they said you want to clear snow. You used to get paid for clearing snow. There was none of that.
Yeah.
Sanctions and all that.
No, it was not.
Like there is today.
Sanctions. You just went and got your money. You didn't even have to give them an address. You just went to sign on, give me your insurance number, Told me he wasn't working.
Tell me if this is right or wrong though. Is that because more people wouldn't want to sign on them days? It was seen as a shameful thing, wasn't it, in the 60s?
I think there was a lot more.
Yeah.
There was more jobs then. Wasn't
Yeah,
there?
You could leave one job that same day.
You know, and leave in the morning and get a job by the afternoon.
Yeah.
So you could job up.
I would imagine it was a 70s thing when people decided that they was going to have a career on the dole.
No, what happened was, I'll tell you what happened. This is how it began, how you managed to get on the dole. Once you started smoking weed, you got lazy. No, but you did.
I know.
You did.
That's why I'm laughing.
You couldn't get out of bed.
That's why I'm laughing.
You couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
And eventually, you didn't have your job. Then you met people who were
The same, yeah.
Yeah, I thought, come on.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It became a trend.
Yeah, then you didn't work. Then you just went to the dole and got your money. And you might have done it. We used to do, don't know if you remember Duncan Foster's.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you could go there on a night time and get a shift, just packing bread and taking it off the oven and all that. But you used to like do a night shift there. Same thing, cash, no name, any old name. And then you get your own money on it. Yeah, once you start learning all that,
I used to do it in Bagley. That was in Bagley.
Almonds.
Used to queue up.
I'll stand on Alan used to work there.
You used to queue up in a line and they'd pick you.
Yeah.
Like proper gang.
Like thinking on the waterfront.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, yeah.
You go and have a night's work. Right. But I worked at Duncan Foster's for a few years.
You worked for them?
Yeah. I was on the ovens.
Right.
But you should have been 18, I think I was about 16, 17. 17 I would have been.
Right.
And the tray fell out, stuck on my arm. Right.
Oh, man.
Foreman's come, knocked the tray off my arm.
Right.
Sent me to hospital and all that, come back. Right, and they sat me for bad timekeeping. Because I was under the bed, so they couldn't do anything. So they sat me for bad timekeeping in the end.
Was you on appeal
Cover
of it?
their own
Where you
back
put the
as
appeal
well.
and pull it out?
Yeah, you know,
Well, like, no, when I was in Boston, that's where I was on the ovens, and we used to get these big gloves like that.
like sacking.
But the tray come further forward and burnt me on my arm.
I put the tray out.
Right.
Put it in those things.
Yeah.
Like you slot with slots.
Yeah.
Threw it in like that.
Right.
Well, it hit the thing and come back, and instinct to caught it. Stupid.
About 350-degree opening. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've just proved me right though, Davey, because what they then had to get wise to people just going in and getting the money in the next window, didn't they? They just had to understand that it'd become a trend. Because prior to that, innocent guys who just didn't have a job would have been going, wouldn't they?
But by the same way, like you say, like Barrie says, you could go from one job to in them times.
Yeah.
You could really. You could. Because we used to get the evening news, situations vacant, wasn't it?
I remember that.
Yeah, but there was thousands of jobs. Like me being in the building trade, there was 4 columns, 5 columns.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a full page.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it's a you used to have to do these things called 715s. It's a certificate what you got to the Inland Revenue, and if you give them every week when you got your wages, you give them this certificate. They never took any money out, deducted any money out of you.
Your tax.
Or anything. But if you didn't have the certificate, you used to take like 25% out of your money.
Yeah.
So, bit by bit, because I knew Paul Phillips' dad. I worked with the Phillips brothers. Their dad lived in Winnington, and I said to Paul, I said, "Don't your old father work?" He says, "Yeah." He said, "But he signs on here in Manchester, but in Stretford, he works for Stretford Road Highways Department as Frank Pudd." Right? And he signed on and
would you think up Frank Pudd?
No, he's a proper Dublin man.
Okay.
So he worked for them 5 days a week or whatever, but he also signed on and got his house paid for and everything with it and 6 kids.
Wow.
Off the dole there, that's how unlinked they were.
Yeah. Oh, prior to computers and shit. Yeah,
Right.
of course, everything would just be what you wrote down and what.
They were naive and all, weren't
That's the word I'm looking for.
They were naive.
That's the word I'm looking for. And they had to catch up, didn't they?
No, but look at today, if you buy something and they want to say, right, well, what's your postcode? No, you
Know
buy something.
everything about you, man. From
Yeah,
that.
and they go 22 Wesley Court.
Yeah.
You know, they know everything about you, innit? It's
Yeah.
like, wow. Well, I was thinking of the other day how it changed dramatically, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Say like from the days of Reno, we pinch a car to get to the Reno. You could open a car then, couldn't you? With a hair clip.
Yeah.
You could open a car then and then you park it round the back, go in the Reno, come out. If the police hadn't got it yet, you just drive it off.
Yeah.
You remember that garage that was the side of the Reno?
No, go on.
You know, when you come down the side of the Reno, you had the western upstairs.
Yeah.
But then you've got the end of the building, which was Mohammed's Barbers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He wasn't called, he wasn't called that. Dougie was called, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he still Dougie, actually. Dougie's. Then he had the alley.
Yeah.
But there used to be a garage there, a petrol station.
I don't remember the petrol station, but I remember the tyre place a bit further on.
Yeah, that's the furniture place now. But don't you remember across the road from there, Moss Side Library?
Oh, yeah.
The police station and the fire station.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I forgot about the library. Yeah.
Because in 1977, the Queen's Jubilee, there was a party. We had a party where the garage was. It was all paid for from some funds in Moss Side.
Right, no.
It was a lovely day. Yeah. The Queen's Jubilee, 1977. What's that? That's 40 years ago, isn't it? Nearly.
Yeah.
When was Wing Stranger? That was in the 70s, wasn't it?
1973.
A-Wing.
Yeah, not D-Wing.
No, it was on A-Wing, Star Wing.
Did you go in together?
D-Wing, the Star Wing. A-Wing's when you went in.
No.
When I got there, him and he was already snuck into the #1 cleaner with all the soap, all the toilet paper. Everything stacked in his cellar, yeah. Don't come here for any more soap. Me and Dennis Benjamin was near the bottom, weren't we?
Yeah. How did you angle that to get?
Because I think it was Mr. What was he called? Mr. Jones, the drinker.
Yeah.
I bet he used to leave his booze in his cellar, didn't he? Because he drunk all day at work in the
The
neck.
screw.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Jones was a nice bloke, man.
Yeah.
He was really nice.
He was old school, wasn't
He wasn't one of them people who. He was just a nice
he?
bloke.
All that nonsense.
Yeah.
All he wanted was his booze. Because I know that Dennis said that he hid some in his cell as well.
Oh, did he?
The
So he
screw.
was all right with just his
Yeah,
like
he
a
was great.
hiding place for his booze.
He only just turn up to work, get his pay and go on. Have a drink in between.
Never nicked anybody or anything. Just the only time he ever did anything was a kid from Stockport, and he was in a cell with a gay lad, and at dinner time, he must have been having it away. Mr. Jones went and got a bucket of water. Oh, this
I was telling you, like, when I was when I was #1, I was selling cells, wasn't
yeah,
I? Right.
up to no good.
But you've got to survive, haven't you? So tobacco was the currency.
Yeah.
So I used to allocate the cells, we'd bring them on, I'd say, right, you're in cell 25, and write the name on the board.
Yeah.
Right. And if you want to stay on your own, it's a quart of tobacco. So they paid me the quart, but they didn't pay me. You always got somebody, wouldn't you? It wasn't a full shilling.
Yeah.
Right, I got, right, you're in cell 10 minutes. Hang on, don't. Right, what? Right, get this numpty out of my... Nah. Pay me. Right, they pay you. I'll move now.
#1 cleaner. Remember him? Gilroy.
Yeah.
Mr. Gilroy. He must be gone now.
Who's Mr. Gilroy?
He was a PO.
Who was the one who used to have the dead shiny boots? He used to have nail boots.
Oh, no. Not him with the white hair.
Sea-winged him.
There was Cowboy Brown out the block. And there was him who was the head of the British National Party, Brian Baldwin, remember him?
He's a screw or a prisoner?
He was a screw. He was the head of the British. When he used to bring you dinner up, you went downstairs, you came up the long stairs up E-wing, you went round, or you went round that way, you had to go up these stairs back up to you. Because the server was underneath on the lower ground floor, like the
ones.
Yeah. So anyway, one day someone said to me and Dennis when we was in the mailbag shop, he said, I've seen that way that fucking screw looks at you two, he hates you. Right.
Wow.
So us, because you got to have fun in there. So I said, who? Right. He said, him there. So when we realised it's him, Brian Baldwin, he was stood there. He said, where he's at like this, big long Nazi fucking stand there, look. So I said, right, we'll sort him out. So you're allowed to have as much bread as you wanted. You know, with your dinner.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So me and Dennis used to get a full loaf, right, and walk past him like that. No, because you got to, it's boring otherwise, isn't it? You've got to, you know what I mean? Like there used to be a Scotch screw. What was his surname? And I had just one picture on my wall of Huey Newton, you know, the Black Panther leader.
Yeah.
Pointing at Cook County Jail, and it says underneath it, I found freedom in jail.
Yeah. And
he fucking hated it. He used to come in. One day he said to me, who's that on a fucking wall, John? He says a fucking nigger. I said, get in here. No. So anyway, he calls his mates. He doesn't come in. So I thought, right. So when there's, like how the Nick is, you got a landing, but you can see the cells on the other side of the landing and all that. So when you used to be walking past looking through people's files, me and Dennis used to get to that dog. Hey, you're a cunt, you know, and all that. You're a fuck, you know, give him loads of beef. He'd come running around to our, but we'd jump in our beds. We'd jump in our beds and go, oh, it's not morning now. It's not morning already, is it? I know it's here. I remember once Dennis as well. What he did was, we were in the mailbox shop and we never earned anything, me and Dennis. I think.
You never earned anything?
No, because you had to sew so many bags to get wages.
Yeah.
But we just sit there rabbiting, innit? Me, Ray Coleman, loads of everybody, Tommy Toby, was all in the mailbox shop. So what happened was, they got somebody sorted out upstairs who give them mailbags to make up their money. So I got sent up one day up the stairs. But I got caught, didn't I? They all fucking give me a hard time, told me, yeah, fucking, because the guy got sacked who did all the giving of the thing, so I fucked everybody's wages up. But one day, Dennis, they made a mistake with his wages, so straight away he bought 3 pots of jam, 2 ounces of tobacco, we bought everything, but all the screws come behind it. Come on, Dennis, you know, it's not yours. He was good in there, Dennis, you know. Yeah, he stuck up for a lot of, you know, like, especially guys who weren't well in the head. Yeah. Dennis used to, if the screws would give him a hard time, Dennis used to go around and give him, you know. Then it was back to the Reno. I'll tell you a story about the Reno. Do you know Dave Donico? No. When he got 5 years in Hull, when he came out, they gave him the same clothes, what he had on, and he had them big slack heels. Right? Oh no, yeah. So he ended up going down the Reno. He said, 2 different decades. Yeah. He said, everybody kept looking at him. Oh. Right? So, but in the morning, when he got up, when he woke up in the morning, one of the heels was gone off his shoe. He must have been walking about like this in the Reno. You know. Is he still with us, anyone?
Is that many bloody going?
Yeah.
Because like, we meet up now is really funerals.
Certainly, where did they go the other day?
We went to Tommy's 60th.
Tommy's 60th, yeah. That's one of. It was that and our Paul's daughter's wedding. You didn't go to that, did you? No.
You said there was 4 seasons in the Reno. Tell us what they are.
4 seasons. You
said you had 4 different times in the Reno. When you first came in, didn't you, Barrie?
4 different times?
4 different.
You said 4 different
There was
seasons.
the episode of the full moon.
Oh, yeah. Then there was the time of abundance, where there'd be loads of women. Then there'd be the time of no abundance, where you had to end up going to fucking banjos as a last resort. Yeah. Just as dawn had broke. Yeah. I remember once going to banjos, actually, and we met these 2, I don't know, anyway, they were brown girls, yeah. So it was me, Snowy, Chris, and Cooley. So you know, remember, I don't know if you ever went to Manly, but all the lights were them blue lights in it. So, anyway, this one of these girls had a big fur coat on. And Chris said to me, Dave, you fall in love too easy, right? Anyway, so obviously, as it gets close, about 8 in the morning, we come home. As the girl walks in front of me on the street, it's only sewn this fur coat with big blue stitches in, right? About like that, in his coat. I don't know how she got the coat, but somebody had ripped it on her back.
Yeah.
And in the broad daylight, you know, the coat looked lovely, you know, and she looked dead glamorous in the...
Oh, but when she come out, it's just got big blue stitching in it.
I thought there was some nice times in there. Do you remember when you went to get something to eat in the kitchen? Do you remember them black and white towns that you move?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there was another time with Reno. Tuesday nights when it stunk, when there was nobody in. Just as there was nowhere else to go, so we ended up going to the Reno. There were about 5 or 6 people in there. One night, me and Alan was in there, and Alan said to me, "Oh, look at that over there, Dave." And there was a slug crawling over the wall. Oh. It used to have a funny smell, the Reno.
No, I don't remember,
Do you remember it?
But it's a cellar though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no ventilation.
Yeah, no ventilation.
Do you remember that, Addy?
Yeah, of course.
Addy Fufu?
Yeah.
Linda said to me, "You want to see me wait ages. Phil would be watching everything. But you used to have the cigs up, Phil used to have the cigs up top, there like that. And Addy'd be cleaning, because Addy used to wash the pots, didn't he?
Yeah.
Addy'd be washing the pots like that. And then as soon as Phil was looking somewhere else, Addy used to, I'll tell you someone else what Addy used to do if he didn't like somebody. Because the men's toilets, the washing up liquid out the sink for the pots, it emptied in the men's pistols.
Right.
So if he didn't like somebody, he was stood there. He used to pull the plug out and he used to come and get you. He used to spray you all over. Addy. I loved Addy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great guy he was, man.
Proper little character one, you know, just with his own little life going on.
But the police did something to him. I don't know what it was. But I remember walking home one night with Addy. And the police drove past and he started shouting at them like a... I don't know what they'd ever done to him, but they'd done something to him. I don't know what it was, but they'd harmed him, man. Because I'd never seen Addy. You never really saw them Africans get like, you know. Yeah.
Someone else said that, funny enough, in one of the other interviews, that Addy hated the police.
It was vitriolic about what was coming out of it. Yeah.
I wonder what then.
Do you remember that big African who used to dance on? Do you remember him? With the light suit on. He used to stand in the same spot, didn't he?
And but really gyrate, man. You know, really give it well. But he was frightening. He got frightened because he was so
sinister.
big.
Yeah,
he was sinister. Yeah, that's the right word.
And there was, what about the black guy who wore the cowboy hat? Remember him?
No.
He used to live in town. He used to come from town. He used to wear a cowboy hat. He smiled. He looked like Woody Strode.
Oh, God, not to remember him.
He sometimes used to wear the 6-gun. He thought he was a cowboy. And then there was a white lad who thought he was a cowboy. He was a hod carrier. He used to work with us in me, and our Paul in Middleton. He wore the same thing, steps and everything. And he had silver guns. And he'd go and drink in town. Then he'd come down the Reno meet. Can you imagine today if he had no money?
But twinnies, him and his black mate, you know, his black twin.
They knew each other.
Did they?
They knew each other from town. Yeah, they were rivals.
Yeah, wow. No.
If the black guy was wearing a white hat, he had a black one on. If he was wearing a white hat, the black guy had a black hat on.
Oh, there was some right nut jobs on them, man.
Yeah.
There were characters.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely.
You're not going to see them again.
Remember Ollie
They
Bell?
made out at night, man. You know, watching what's he going to do, what's going to happen.
Ollie Bell used to come there and do the twist, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Ollie used to do the twist. David was more refined, wasn't he? David,
Yeah. Yeah, Ollie used to go proper well mental, didn't he? And proper aggressive. And like daring anyone to say jack shit. Yeah. You know, Ollie's getting it on. Yeah.
Ollie. Wow.
Brennan and Marcus were going on about Flapper the other day.
Oh, Flapper.
He was a great dancer.
Yeah, he was.
No matter how ugly he was, he left with a woman, you know, because of his great moves.
But Flapper and Eli were rivals.
Yeah, Eli with his sig move.
I'm thinking, with his handkerchief, Topaloom. Topaloom sometimes we use his handkerchief. Topaloom's he was pretty shifty, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He always used to wear a suit and slippers.
Yeah.
I remember one night, I'll tell you one night in the Reno, something happened and Johnny Murphy punched this guy and the whole of the guy's tongue came out,
Damn.
all of the roots and everything, and there was all blood on the floor and everyone was like that, I'm fucking leaving. Everyone's going to leave because he thought, well, he's dead and the police will be in, nobody wants to. So Balloons was sat there eating his peanuts. He just got up, he just go, twisted the guy up like that, went like that, twisted his head round. The guy just woke up. I never forget it. Wow. He just went.
So he must have seen it before.
Well, he was a policeman in Jamaica, wasn't he?
Ah.
He's a copper in Jamaica, and he reckoned
So we would have seen some bad ways a copper in Jamaica, wouldn't he?
Well, it was him and Mad Sam. And what happened was, when they were used in the Caribbean, they used to get put on like a devil's island. There was no guards. Yeah. And the only way you could do it was, there's only two people who ever did it. It was Mad Sam, I don't know if you remember Mad Sam, and Topaloons who swam from the island and got back to the mainland and made their way to England.
So they were in prison on this like Devil Island thing?
No guards, they just used to take them there and they had to make their way.
That was the only way you got off, so if you couldn't swim or you couldn't whatever, you could do 40 years.
You stayed there.
Wow. Only Jamaicans could come up with that, innit? Watch me fuck you up. Yeah. Wow.
Topaloons, man.
Yeah.
But he was our Alan's good friend, him.
Was he?
Cards. You see what it is with our Alan was?
Yeah.
Alan was a real gambler. Our Alan gambled, he lost everywhere where he lived, he lost every penny. Wow. But they all used to work against him in the gambling house, but they couldn't beat him because he had the kind of like, I don't know, he had a kind of blessing, Alan, if you know what I mean. I remember once I was playing cards and Alan went, no, don't play that one day. So, what are you going on about? He said, because you won't get, because he won't up. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you always get the same cards, always. He said he doesn't get that, he doesn't get that card and he won't get this card. Because Stez Palmer and them used to try to, Buller, they all used to try to like round on Alan because they couldn't believe how lucky he was, but they could never get him. So when Alan lost everything, he went to Germany, he went on a television course, he went to Germany, did electronics and all that, came back and he'd overcome all his gambling and everything.
I remember that.
So me and Alan went to the Reno. So we'd not been there for 2 or 3 years. So Topaloons puts his head out of the gambling house and like this, with a pack of cards. Alan! Yeah, the gambling house. Remember when Topaloons used to go mad and chase the young guys? Do you remember?
No, go on.
No, because he wanted this certain kind of respect, you know, like the younger guys would, you know, and all that. And he used to go, every now and again, he'd look in there, he'd be chasing them around the pool table.
No, everybody wanted some type of respect in there, didn't they? Yeah. That's what everybody's like, outfits and everything was about, wasn't it?
No, when Phil used to beat people up with that stick.
Oh, yeah, with his baseball bat.
He'd wait for it. He used to get it a lot, didn't he? He moves with Portland, he used to be with Portland. Vinny. Was it Vinny? What are they called now? He was like from North Manchester side. Alex and Vinny. Ross. Vinny used to get it all the time. Portland used to drive him mad, so he used to come in there kicking off, punching the ceiling. All of a sudden Phil would be watching, like, you know, like he used to watch Vinny like that on the thingy. And all of a sudden the door would come out with that baseball bat, but he proper clinical. He'd go like that, and the guy do that, and he'd get him on the leg with him like he'd snap him on the side.
But not really breaking much sweat though either.
No, he was dead clinical. He'd go like that, and straight away, Vinny would go like that, and then he'd hit him on the leg. So when he went like that to get his leg, he'd get him on the side of his head.
Phil was a character in himself, wasn't he?
He was mean, him.
Everybody says that.
He was mean, man.
Was your dad? My dad was mean. You
My
know,
dad
money
never had any
wise.
money.
Was yours?
My dad
My
never
dad?
had any money.
No.
My old phone never had any money.
He didn't. He used to give me mum. Every time, yeah. And so my mum would give him pocket money.
Was your dad a worker, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So we give it, his wage packet would go over to my mum and she'd give him his pocket money.
Right.
Right, his bus fares on that. Right, but you couldn't do him out of a penny. You couldn't read or write.
Right.
But you go to the shops, right, and you say, yeah, and you'd be like, oh, a couple of quid for myself.
Yeah,
Little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, a couple of quid for myself. And you go,
Yeah, my dad was the same. Couldn't read or write, but could count, man.
Yeah.
Well, see, Larty Lawson, he was very astute. I remember I used to help him when he had the house on Green, Allison Street, where Larry used to repair the cars.
Oh, yeah.
And he once asked me, his dad wanted something, there was a slate missing. I said, yeah, I'll come round. So bit by bit, because when we were small children, Larry put my mum up and my dad, the three of us in one of his houses.
Mm.
So obviously I felt duty bound kind of. I said, yeah, and I wasn't doing it, come on, come work in my van. I drive up there just an hour or so. So one day, I was walking down the road with him, and he went, wait a minute, look. He saw a bent nail on the floor, and he picked it up and put it in his pocket. So I said, what are you doing? I was stretching it up.
That's me. That's a whole new level.
Any bits of copper wire, if you saw a bit of electric wire, he came to England in 1922, like Lawson.
Wow.
And he was a welder. He was a welder all his life for Massey Ferguson.
Yeah.
And Crane through trailers. And what he used to do was, he'd leave, and he'd go to another, he'd leave when it was his pension age. He didn't stop working till he was 80.
Wow.
He used to swap his 10 years up every time.
They all did it.
All of them.
And got away with it.
Yeah. You couldn't do it today, but I'm saying that's what he used to do.
Yeah.
But he was, he never really came to me, no lie. He was very singular, man. He was very, very clever. I mean, when he was going blind, because welding all his life, that spark.
Yeah.
So I knew he was going blind, because obviously I used to go around there quite a lot to see him, and plus Lai was repairing cars in the back. So one day he said to me, you want a drink? You want a cup of tea? So I said, yeah. Or you want a coffee? So I said, I'll have tea. So I knew he was going blind, so I thought to myself, I watched him in the kitchen. So I said I wanted tea. So anyway, he put the kettle on and everything. And he made me, what I noticed was, he put coffee in a square jar and tea bags in a round jar.
So he
could feel.
Oh. Yeah.
He bought these two dogs from the dog zone, Butch and Shep. £5 he paid for the two of them. I've never seen a man be able to treat dogs in such a... When I first went round there, he made this dog food, mixed it up, and threw it on the floor. And they were slavering, but they wouldn't eat it. So I said to him, so he took me outside to show me that slate missing and this and that. Anyway, we go back in, and the dogs still haven't ate it.
Wow.
So I said to Larry, how come they haven't eaten it? He said, I don't tell them to eat it yet.
How's he done that?
I said, how did you do that? He went, I bring them from the dog's home. I go to put food. They go to eat. I take it, I put it in there. What do you do? He said, I come back the next day. I take it again. I said, how long are you that for? He said, about 2 weeks. He said, and then I put it, they look at me. They look at me. I said, go on, eat.
They must have been starving.
You know what else he used to do? Like, they had a backyard toilet. So at night, he'd flush it, and that's where the dogs would drink the water from, out the toilet. But when they went out in the day, they had to do the business outside.
Yeah.
If he came in the morning and there was a turd there, he said, tonight you will see, tomorrow, he split them up. He used to put one in one part of the thing, one in one and lock them off. Because he said, whoever did this yesterday will do it again, and sure enough, they got the fucking beating. Yeah, but they worship you, wouldn't. I'll tell you what, if you try to get, they worship him.
Yeah.
I was putting a new sewer pipe up for him once. So there was this fucking stick with wrapped round with rope, like wedged behind the thing. So when I went to get it, the dogs went like that. So I said to him, "Oh, is that the stick you beat him with?" He went, "No, this one here." And he went like that, and they both went. But he used to talk. He used to talk to them. I mean, in the morning, he'd open the gate. They wouldn't go out. They'd be slavering. There'd be a dog all the way shouting them for trouble. They wouldn't go till he said, "You." He'd tell them, "You, yesterday," and they know which one it was, not Shepard, but whichever one it was. "Yesterday, you go run in the road. You go chase this dog here. You go run. You don't look. You think I run well? You think I got money for vet?" He said, "If you get, oh go, gone. 5 o'clock every night they came home.
Wow.
Every night, 5 o'clock they came back. No, them days you could let a dog.
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
innit?
Yeah.
They came back every night at 5 o'clock. So when he was about 90, remember when the post office on Wimbledon Road?
Yeah.
There was a zebra crossing going straight across the
Yeah.
one there. So I saw him coming with Butch. Butch was like a mix, like a kind of pit bully, but a big one. And when he got to the zebra crossing, I watched and I thought, let's see how he crosses the road. And when he got to the zebra crossing, this dog, which cost £2.50, when he got to the edge of the road, the dog just put his head on his leg
to stop
till the cars were gone.
Oh, it became his eyes.
No, but you know when you read about, blind dogs, we need £10,000 to train it.
Yeah.
This dog he paid £2.50 for. I watched when he got there, and the dog put his head there.
Out of loyalty.
And then just moved when it was time for no car. Right, man.
What with his mate.
What a geezer he was. He was dead tricky though. He had little houses everywhere.
Did he?
Little houses everywhere. One day he said to me, when I was married to Nora, he said to me, you don't look, what's wrong with you? You look like, you ain't got wrong. So I said, I said, I just a bit of thingy with me missus. So he said to me, where's your house? Where's your room? Mm-hmm. So I said, no, we've got a flat. He said, I don't ask you that. I say, where's your room? He said, no, he says, you get room, don't tell her where it is.
African.
She go make wahala. You say, I just go shopping. You go away for 2-3 days. You can't even come back, everything's okay. He said, you must always have your own room. Always. Clever guy, no? Clever guy, no? Larty. And young Larty's the same as him.
Well, he'd have to be, wouldn't he? He grew up like your dad, don't he? Yeah.
Well, Larty's son's, Larty's son's 44 now.
Wow.
No, but time is quick, innit?
Yeah.
Time goes quick, man. He's 44. Wow. I've seen Larty at,
How old's Larty then?
Larty's 2 years young. Larty's 64.
Okay.
Because Larty, remember Larty had a fight with Dougie Thorne?
Thorns, man. I think everybody's had a fight with one of the Thorns, haven't they? Or the Williams. Yeah.
Which one?
Did you?
Dougie.
Dougie thought he owned the gaffle, didn't he? You know, any nick you went to, Dougie thought he owned it.
I was in the mail shop.
Yeah.
Right. And we're talking, talking about our ancestors.
Mm.
So I said, what do you do, man? We were the first black family in Moss Side. So I said, what a crap. How are you doing? So we got really heated about it.
Yeah.
So we finished up punching each other. The screws come over like that. What's going on?
Mr. Williams.
So the marchers both off. I got sacked out of the mail shop.
Right.
So I couldn't go in there again. Locked down for 24 hours.
Because of your ancestors.
But as it happens, it was right.
Oh no!
His family go back, way back.
Wow.
Well, his dad, his granddad,
right.
Mr. Williams.
His granddad, yeah.
Right.
But I was having none of it, man.
But they're mixed race way back, aren't they?
Oh yeah, Caribbean Redskins, aren't they?
Yeah, way back.
Alma.
Yeah.
Yeah, but their dad was Mr. Williams, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Famous Mr.
Well,
Williams.
Alma used to knock around with my mum
Right.
when we were kids. And,
Well, our mum was a mate of Mrs. Sylvia Willard, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Went to school, yeah.
you know, how the little ties come in.
No, absolutely. Marcus was going on about the other day. But why is he famous, Mr. Williams?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. I don't know. He's supposed to have been quite a vicious guy, wasn't he? I believe. But I believe the police used to call him Mr. Williams. I don't know what he did in the police station. But there's a famous episode where Tiger Freeman, the police station in Moss Lane, innit, when they arrested. No, it was Tiger Freeman who they arrested. It was Mr. Toto who said, where is that? He said, they go, come on, they go take him. Where? You don't come. He went to thingy. But remember, the Africans, they're not used to that. No, they used to, they expect, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the sergeant said, you niggas can, what? Toto give him one dirty slap in the police station.
Wow.
They broke him out of Moss Lane police station.
Did they?
Yeah. They broke him out.
That'd make a great film, wouldn't it?
They had to get, in the end, they had to go to the Nigerian embassy to sort it all out because they were all Nigerian seamen and they'd all been in the war. There wasn't some fucking riffraff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their friends got killed in the Atlantic convoys and everything, so they couldn't just. And they all worked for the Elder Dempsey Line, which is like an arm of the British East India Company. They couldn't just. But when you niggas fuck off out, I think Mr. Tuttle,
big African, yeah.
Oh.
But you know, that again is a link because, right, Mr. Freeman, Pereira,
Finney,
right,
Maffey.
my dad.
You remember Maffey? Maffey's still alive.
They all
Wow.
sailed to sea together, and a lot of the time on the same boat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Went through the same experiences together.
No, my dad told me about that though. My dad said they wouldn't go on Greek ships because they're all homos.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go on a Greek ship.
Yeah.
On Manchester Line, was the Dempster Line, Blue Line. I used to sail on.
Well, Elder Dempster, their offices is still in the library building, isn't it? Where the passport office is.
Well, I've been down there. When my dad went to sign on, he took me down there, to sign on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
And the same with Manchester.
Yeah, because he had to have his seaman's book, didn't he, where he used to go. Yeah.
So when did your dad? My dad didn't come here till 57.
No, my dad was here. He come here before the war. My dad first come here in 1936, I think.
Right.
And then in the Merchant Navy. Then he was in the Merchant Navy during the war. And then that's when he met my mum in about 40, after the war, 49, 46.
Right.
Well, my dad would have sailed with your dad, because he sailed with Red.
Right. Tony's dad.
Tony's dad.
Yeah.
Because Tony's, and Mike Macy's dad, used to come to our house.
Right.
When we lived in Aberton Drive.
Yeah. Every black man we saw when we lived in, we used to think it was our uncle.
He used to be Uncle Red.
Yeah.
Uncle Red.
What was he called? Mr. Pratt. Remember Mr. Pratt used to ride the black bike? I remember him. He was old.
Mr. Wilson, I remember.
Do you remember Jiddy?
No.
He used to live, you know where Tony has Carrick Gardens?
Yeah.
Jiddy used to live, when you used to go down Brownlee Road and you could go right to Tony, Jiddy used to live. Jiddy never had it yet. He met this white woman, an English kid, and he brought him up. You know, like, because them Africans, they bring up some of these kids. They don't. They will get the same beatings and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Need someone else to be.
Stand on one finger, one leg.
Yeah. Well, did it to Jimmy Tuttle? I mean, the Tuttles, Mr. Tuttle met. I don't know what was it, May?
I don't know.
I don't know, but she had a son called Jimmy, and he just immediately, he was part and parcel of everything. Like, they don't have that kind of like, because the Caribbean thing's a bit thingy, innit?
No, my dad's Jamaican and my mum left her 4 kids to be with my dad. She just left them.
Did she?
Yeah. He never seen his kids again and she didn't see hers. One of her eldest daughter followed her.
Right.
But she didn't fare well inside. That's what I think made her do.
Did you have a thing with him?
And I know the eldest daughter, she's dead now as well.
She your half sister?
Yeah.
Right.
But she was just like my sister.
I don't think they really could say that half, is it?
No,
half
she's
sister.
my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was. It is a strange one though, Because when I was little, about 2, she met a white guy, a black guy, a Jamaican guy, and my dad chased him up the street, man.
Right.
Yeah, you're not being with no black man.
Is that what we say?
Yeah, man.
I remember
Yeah.
thingy, I don't know if you know Doshi?
I'm rubbish with names, Dave.
He lived in, well, Tony Hat lived in Wally Grove.
Mm-hmm.
His father was called Morris. He was an old joiner, Jamaican joiner, but he had their Doshi's mix, the doors. And Coco, you know Coco?
Yeah.
Not Coco. Cole Joe Taylor.
No.
Cole Joe, because Coco killed himself, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Not Coco. Ronnie Ross. Is it Ronnie? Ronnie Ross. One of the Rosses, Alec Ross, Ronnie Ross. He's died not so long ago.
Yeah.
But he started going out with his daughter, Morris's daughter. But Morris come out of the house with a big machete. Get from me, do I do in cold, you know?
Yeah, Africans.
You're no good.
No, they hated each
Yeah,
other,
yeah,
didn't they,
yeah,
man?
yeah.
To be honest.
I can
yeah.
remember Africans and Jamaicans really hating each other.
Yeah.
Like, used to
Yeah.
call them sugar canes.
Yeah.
Cutters.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember Mr. Cole. Remember Mr. Cole?
Yeah.
You know, I love Mr. Cole. But anyway, he'd be on Claremont Road if he got into, even at his old age. So blue leg, you have no fucking language. You know, he used to really fucking
That's
give
what he used to say because they lost the language.
Yeah.
And they resented that.
Yeah. Well, look, they had, in a way, really, like the Reno was an African club, wasn't it?
Really?
And the
Yeah.
Nile was Jamaican.
Yeah.
It's like the Lagos was an African club, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's thingy, innit?
I've seen the Reno as a half-caste club myself, but you definitely fared better if you was half African.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, as the reason why that is, though, because the thing, we all knew our dads.
No, exactly.
We all knew our own dads, innit? You know what I'm saying? I remember, like, Snowy, Cheaty Mill End, didn't it, Snowy? Yeah. But when I went there, Jimmo immediately, his dad was my uncle.
Yeah.
David
No,
Gay.
that's what I mean. I don't mean nothing wrong by
No.
it. I just mean that because you all
Yeah.
knew each
David
other.
Gay, Dwight, all their dads
Yeah.
are all West
Yeah.
African.
So
So
like that link.
Yeah.
and you could, for instance, can you imagine if you was rude to one of them? Even if you went to Cheaty Mill, you know it's going to get back to your dad, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, they've got the right to slap you anyway.
Oh,
You
yeah,
don't even have to get back to your dad.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
a few slaps get dished out
Remember
in that
Jesse
video.
James from Cheatham?
Jesse,
Jesse, old African guy.
right.
Right. From Ireland, but he moved to Cheatham Mill.
Yeah.
But he called himself Jesse James. And as a kid growing up, right, he used to watch the westerns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesse
right,
James.
yeah.
My dad said, so I said, do you know Jesse James? I will take you to see him.
Yeah.
Right. So he took me up to Cheatham Mill.
Yeah.
I said, he's black. Because I got the cowboy in me head.
Right.
I was only a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird names. And they just pluck names out there.
Yeah.
Like my dad took, I said, why did you get the name George? He said, King George was on the throne.
Right.
Because they couldn't pronounce his African name.
Oh, what
Yeah.
was his African name then?
On air chum.
Well, I can't
So they
pronounce
couldn't-
it either.
On one eye, on air chum. And they couldn't pronounce it.
You're able, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tony Ag was Ebo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I said to my dad though, when I was growing up, I said to my dad, why did you leave my mum's kid? You know, why didn't you bring him with her? And he said, in them days, a black man couldn't bring up white pygmy then. They went home to bring his family back to
I can
Ireland.
believe it.
Yeah.
I remember my mum telling me once that when she was, I don't know how old she was, anyway, she had our Tony and she was on Denmark Road, because they had a room on Denmark Road when them houses big, you know, like the merchants' houses.
Yeah.
It was a lovely summer's day, so she's outside with Tony in the pram. There's a load of hustlers who are like, it's the afternoon about 2 o'clock, she's all sat on the steps and that. She's this big midwife uncle with big elephant legs in grey tights and big tied up brown shoes. And she went like that, started saying something to me, mum, but, you know, downbeating and all that.
Yeah.
And now, what it is with Black Baby, and also one of these working girls said, hey you, have you ever had a black baby? Well, go fuck off.
Wow.
No, because my mum was naive and young.
Yeah.
She was trying to take liberties with her, wasn't
Yeah.
she? So one of them.
And just passing off that inherent racism of, you know, white woman, black kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know good,
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah.
Well,
that just, for me, it shows how strong our mothers really were.
oh, no, there's no getting
You know, to put up with all that.
Listen,
Right. You know.
I never ever remember the time I argued with my mum, ever, in my life. None of us in that family argued with my mum, none. That's the 10 of us. Whatever she said, it went bam. I remember she told us the story once, so when we moved to Brownlee Road, there was a shop, I think we still had ration books then.
Wow.
And it was a shop where you should, Bergen's or Pegram, it was called, Holyhead Road, Holyhead Shops. And
Are we in Wivenshaw now?
yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened was, she was waiting in the queue, like they used to wait every Monday. And she was waiting in the queue. And there was some women being spiteful, like they do that. And they were like that, but saying it loud because she was close by. Oh, and I don't have to feel sorry for that poor bugger up there with them black kids or whatever.
Oh, shit, man.
She kept, they'd do it all every week. Anyway, but there was always this posh woman who was stood there who never said a word. You know, she had that posh basket and all that.
Yeah.
She never ever said a word. She was aloof from everything. They'd be like, who does she think she is? You know, this and that.
Yeah.
Anyway, one day, a funeral cortege went past and it was a black family who was taking the guy back home to either Africa or the West Indies. And it drove past dead slow. And one of the women is, oh look, a nigger funeral.
Oh.
Listen, this posh woman turned around like that. Oh, they do die then, do they? You know what I'm saying? So the thing was, there was always someone who stuck up for me, man.
Yeah.
No, because not everybody, you see, I remember, your Tommy said it once, we were stood somewhere and Tommy went, yeah, but you know how racist with insurance. And I've got to tell you something. I only ever experienced racism once in Withenshaw, and it was from an Irish woman, from a bog Irish woman who said that, get back to your own country. And she was a local drinker.
Right.
Always in the Parkway pub and her husband, get back to your own country. That's the only time I ever experienced in the whole of the time I stayed in Withenshaw.
I did though.
Did you?
Yeah.
We never.
That's how I started fighting.
No, I never. No. Oh, I'll tell you what, when we were in the Scouts, this bigger lad like that, got picked for the football. Oh, I'm not allowed to play with niggers. The guy was like that. Pardon? No, because the Scoutmaster didn't understand. What do you mean? No, I'm not allowed to play with. Just this once. That's the only time I ever. I never really experienced it. We might have experienced it subtly without knowing it. I didn't actually.
It wasn't. I've heard, like, you know, in the presence, you go to a friend's house, and the man would say, the lad would say, where are you going? Oh, I'm going out with a black man. Right. Or you come and say, oh, that wog over there, and you're like, you know, I don't think it was directed at me specifically, but I felt it because of the language they were using. Right? I wasn't used to it. I come from Hardwick, right? And there was no colour in Hardwick, really. I had Africans obviously around me, like, but because I was born there and raised there, I didn't see it and didn't experience it until I saw it. My mum get it, and my dad get it.
I think my mum would have got it more than.
We were called like
Sambo,
Lickershaw, so.
Nick Nog.
But in them days, look, if people had a black dog, it used to be called Sambo, didn't it?
Yeah.
No,
nigga, come in, nigga.
Yeah. We had a dog called Sambo.
Did you?
Yeah, a Labrador called Sambo.
No, but you wouldn't think nothing of it.
Right.
I got a weird memory though. This is really weird. When I'm about 4 years older than Ari Lane, I think. So, you know, like the women used to wear stockings then, didn't they? So my mum's having like, you know, where they get tested to see how the baby's doing. So all the women, they're all white women, are walking around with the stockings rolled down, you know, like to go and get that after internal. And I remember being deeply ashamed that my mum was having another black baby. I was only about 4. I remember it clear as day, like, oh.
No, but that's sibling rivalry though, isn't it? It's not thingy.
No, I think it was just because I didn't get loads of racism happen to me, but the minute, because I was brought up in my side, but the minute I was outside of my area,
Right.
I felt black and wrong. I felt like people looked at us. That's
where my life changed. When we moved from Barrie to Wythenshawe, right? Because I was all right in Albion, friends and all that. Like. Moved to Wythenshawe, right? You know, first day at school, head down the toilet, he's getting a dig.
Yeah.
Right. So he's had a dig, then the clock of the school, the class wants to fight you.
Yeah.
So he gets it. Right. But the clock of the year wants to fight. And the sort of escalates. So.
What school do you go to in Wythenshawe?
My dad took me to Poundswick Grammar.
Right.
The first day we got there, took me to Poundswick Grammar.
Yeah.
I wanted to put my boy in school. Right.
Oh, we didn't know about 11 plus and all that.
Well, I passed with technical.
Right. Yeah.
So we didn't know where Wythenshawe Tech was. We didn't know about Wythenshawe Tech. Right. So we said no. So my dad took me to Oldwood and we've gone there. Anyway, right. So all this is going on in school. And I thought I'm going to have them more frightening me than I'm at them. So you start fighting everybody, don't you?
Yeah.
But I had our Christine and our Mike coming up behind me, so I've got to think about them.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't want them getting in me.
Yeah.
So you get a reputation, you know,
yeah.
for fighting and all that nonsense. Right. But my mum always said to me, right, the worst mistake I ever made was moving you to Wythenshawe.
Did you?
Yeah, because up until then I was
kept
straight.
Yeah.
You know.
How old was she then, Barrie?
12.
Oh, okay, so that's a big.
Yeah, when I went to Central Grammar when I was 11, it was only me. There was a black guy in the 5th year, but there was only me of colour in that school. That's 1,000 lads. And I never once experienced, I used to grammar school, different kind of people. I never once experienced.
Did you know you went to grammar school?
Yeah, I went to Central, yeah.
Yeah.
Every one of our family 10 went to grammar school.
Wow.
My dad was Nigerian's education. He made you, you know, on the summer's day when all the kids are all screaming and shouting, write this, or what about learn this? But it wasn't good to me because the thing was, I won loads of competition for art in school from when I was a small kid.
Oh.
And the headmistress said to me that we suggested you send him to the high school of art. My dad said, no, artists are beggars in my country, because you know them Nigerians. But eventually, when I was 12, 13, I went to a private school, didn't I? Because I didn't fit in academic because I'm a hands person, aren't I?
Yeah.
So I didn't fit in. It's like Miguel's got it now, the same thing, but he's a hands person. If I'm doing anything, Shamsi's never put it. Wait a minute, hang on. Like that. Whereas Miguel, for instance, one time when he was little, I took him down the River Mersey. So there was a dead fox on the floor.
Oh.
It was only he must have been 4. Straight away, he saw it and he went over and got a stick and started prodding it. No, but what I'm saying is he's a hands person. I would have done the same thing with the stick. Whereas academics are usually like, ugh.
So what did you do? Was it drawing you were good at?
Yeah.
Dave, and painting?
Yeah. And woodwork, making things and all that, modelling and making plasticine models and everything. But I won a competition once when I was about I won a competition in England to do a safety first poster. Was it safety first poster? I did, I did. It was a whole competition in England to do a poster for the school.
The whole of England?
Yeah, and I won it.
Oh.
I got 5 shilling.
Oh.
I got 5 shilling in it.
And your dad didn't think that was amazing?
No, but he did. Because Africans want you to have academia.
But even, like I was explaining to you the other day, right, I was good at sport.
Right.
I played for Manchester boys at rugby.
Yeah.
I played football at the school.
Yeah.
All athletics through the summer. Right. But I can't ever remember my dad coming with me to watch me. Right. And then when you look up, I couldn't see any role models.
No.
Right. So eventually it just peters out. I played for Talk H at Disbury when I was 15. Against fellas of 25, 30 were fellas then.
Yeah.
Right. And my dad used to say, you could have played for England. I said, yeah, you could have come with me.
Yeah.
No, I always went.
They didn't.
When did you decide you could have played for England? Well,
When it was too late.
Yeah, no, exactly. When he's older now, when he's an
Yeah.
older man, and he's thought
Well,
about
well,
it.
that's what my dad said to me. I should have let you go to this school.
Oh.
You know, but yeah, you know, the thing is though, if you got something in you, it's there, innit? It's not no. But I was reading about him the other day, you know, like Jean-Michel Basquiat.
I was just thinking about him when you was talking.
Did you see what happened this
What?
year?
No.
One
They've
of
had a big
One of his
retrospective or
paintings,
something.
£59 million
Wow.
he went for. But his mum, he was a child, but he could speak 3 languages when he was about 4, eloquently. His mum brought him up his dad's from Haiti and his mum's Puerto Rican.
Right.
Got brought up in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I love reading. He died when he was 27, didn't
Yeah. Is it heroin, I think?
he? Yeah. He did it like a Jimi Hendrix, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he was mates with Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
He put it, you know, Andy Warhol fated him well all over the world, didn't he? And then he really started to make money, but then the more money he got, the more of the...
Stuff he could buy. But
Well,
he's not till the 80s, you know.
Hey?
You know, like you're saying about role models as an artist, he's like the biggest.
There wasn't any role models.
Yeah.
And if you look at
He's not till the
any
80s.
sphere, our generation, right, I can't remember.
I missed, you know something, I'm sorry, you know, I missed last night. I'll have to go watch it, I'm going to catch up. The game between what they did to stop racism in the 70s, they made a black football team playing the England. Oh, I meant to watch it. It was on and you know so I meant to watch it last night, Sunday night. It was on 9 o'clock Sunday night. Because of the racism, and they were trying to work out. And all the old players now, George Barrie, all of them, all in the 50s, maybe 60s now, they were expertly some look like big fat Jamaicans, I don't know like what they used to know. But it was on the telly last night. We'll have to go to my daughter's and watch it on catch up. It was all the England players, Remy Moses, all the English black, Remy Moses, Laurie Cunningham, Brendan Batson, Regis, all of them. They
playing each other.
They played against a white team to try and stop this shot. Because it was saying that the National Front used to stand outside the grounds with what they'd been to market buying bunches of bananas to give out to people to throw on the pitch.
There was an incident on the pitch, I can't remember what game it was, where they threw the bananas on the pitch, right, and it was televised. But I can't remember what game it was.
Did he say
Barrie,
that?
what was you going to say for?
No, I'm saying that I can't remember any role models, so there's nobody for me to look up to.
Yeah.
Right, you know, to progress.
Yeah.
Right. No, if I wanted to be a policeman, there was no black policeman.
No, none.
Certainly no mixed race policeman.
No.
Right. Fireman, none.
No.
Right. You know, all the things that the kids grow up wanting to
When
be.
you were to go in the army, wasn't it? You never heard of a black guy in the army, did you? No.
No.
There's loads of users in the army.
Well,
Later on,
Roy
Yeah.
Thorne did, didn't he?
Milton did, didn't
Roy
he?
was in the army.
Well, Mike
Macy
Macy.
was in the army. I might join the army,
Oh, did
but
he?
that was after me.
Right.
Right. I went to join the army, but they wouldn't let me in
Why?
because I had a criminal record and I was married at the time.
Right.
And your wife had to sign
Right.
to say she accepts you going in.
Do you know why they didn't
And
let
she
Aunt Paul in?
Would you not?
She wouldn't sign it.
Do you know why they wouldn't let Aunt Paul in the army? Because Paul went to, because my mouth fed up and why are you all done? So he went to the recruiting office and they said to him, name 3 counties in England. He wrote Lancashire, Yorkshire and Withershire.
Well,
I don't know whether they did it on purpose.
I'm wondering, did he do it as a joke or a joke?
Lancashire, Yorkshire, Withershire. Okay, now.
yeah, so I think
We didn't have any role models. You know why we
for
didn't
our
have any role
generation,
models?
we sort of went.
No, because look at films. You look at films. Films of our day when we were kids, black man wasn't a hero. You never seen no black hero in a film, did you?
No.
No.
You think about it, he was usually someone with massive big lips. No, but it's true. Or taking orders off Tarzan. No, but you didn't. No, but you think about
What's his name? Woody Strode.
Woody Strode is young, but he was later. He was in the professionals. But even Woody.
But even he's not the number one. Even though he's got that gorgeous body and everything, he's still not
But
spouse.
you know, he's he's Red Indian, he's got, you want to see how he's got Irish, he's got so many different bloods in
He's
him. But he was an
beautiful, man.
all-star athlete, him.
Yeah.
American footballer. The only
Oh, I
people-
know, Sidney Poitier.
Yeah, but
Arabella
he struggled
Fonte.
when he was given little roles at first, wasn't he? Cameo parts.
Yeah.
That was great in thingy, wasn't it?
You know,
In the heat of the
In
night
the
when
heat
he
of the night,
slaps that
that's-
guy back.
that's what sort of made him.
Yeah, yeah, he slaps
To
that
serve
guy
a
back.
to serve a look.
That one, yeah, it was, he was a teacher in London, wasn't he?
Yeah. You know, but he didn't get a lot of roles like, you know, the big stars of today get.
Sergeant
He had a
Rutledge.
lot of roles though for his day.
Yeah, but
In some really good films though.
Yeah, but he might have been,
He was.
no, but he might have been,
Yeah.
he might have been a patron, you know, someone who's a patron for something. He might have been a progressive producer who we've always thought, you know, because obviously, not every, for instance, like the Jewish community in America, that, I mean, because of the prejudice that they've suffered for countless years, they seem to have a link with black people more than, don't they?
Don't know.
Jewish people. Yeah, they do. They've got, I mean, because they know about persecution, don't they? You see, if you know about persecution, you can't. I mean, at the moment in Palestine, what I'm thinking is because, you know, that's like, what are you doing? You know, because it happened to you, you can't, you know, really, it's like you should know that it's not right, innit? Even Fidel, they're going on about Fidel the other day, right? And Fidel, one of his quotes says, the Holocaust was one of the worst in the history of mankind. But they're saying that he's a dictator, that he's fucking this and that is that and that. Trump going on about, oh, yes, fucking hell.
Do me a favour, Google Igbo, right?
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be Igbos, supposed to be the lost tribe of Israel.
I'll Google
Yeah,
it.
you Google it, right? And it says it's the lost tribe of Israel. And I've actually done a historic thing where it sort of traces coming out of Israel,
Right.
and into Africa.
Yeah, but you've got to remember something though. It's quite easily done because there was no Suez Canal then, was there? So if you think about it, Africa and the Middle East were linked. It's only the Suez Canal that split up from being.
But just if you Google it, because I heard this years and years and years ago, right? And I looked it up, right? And then I Googled it loads of times, right? And they've actually done like a map, like a family tree.
Yeah, but what I found is though, I found when you look at some black sites, for instance, I like to look at some of them and think, yeah. Because sometimes I've known people who've gone into black nationalism and all that. And anybody who's mixed or you didn't nobody. Absolutely nobody.
We weren't accepted in the 50s.
Absolutely
Whites or blacks?
No. And absolutely nothing.
Did the Reno make you feel accepted?
No, because I was like it was an African club. All the boys who went there were all African descent. It was home.
Yeah.
It's like the Blue Note became a first home because we were half caste and we all used to meet there. But the Reno was also because he was African as well. So it was like
Stop excluding me.
No, but you know,
No,
but you know, we used to walk down the street. You ever remember doing this? Walk down the street and going, no, oh sugar, sorry.
It's alright, it's only water.
Right. When you walk down the street,
Plum.
right, and then you see somebody mixed race,
Yeah.
you go, right, no, raise your eyebrows like,
Oh, you still like, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you didn't,
Yeah.
you didn't say, you know, all that. It was just raise your eyebrows and say, hiya, right, and carry on.
Paul
Right.
Phillips.
Just acknowledge them.
Paul Phillips, who I work with, Irish family, two brothers. We used to go red lights. He used to come Reno with us and everything, Paul. But one day he said to me, how come you lot always let on to each other, even if you don't know each other?
Yeah.
Which is true.
It's true, yeah.
I can't, and for instance, if I walk down the street in the morning, say round my side, I see an old West Indian woman, I have to say hello. I can't walk because you know you're going to get in trouble. No, because you've got to say hello. It's funny, isn't it? Like when I worked in Germany for Saw and Black or Mix, I'd let on.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is. If I go from somewhere now, if we marching or something, you let on. It's weird, isn't it?
Do you know a weird question though is how you said black or half caste? How come we don't identify with our white side? Because we're as much white as we are black.
That's why me and Paul were in the building trade because of our Irish bit.
Yeah.
That's why. No, but that's why. That's why. It's the same as Molly Thomas. That's our Irish bit.
I think you lean more towards your black side.
Yeah.
Right. Because of the influence of your father.
Yeah.
Right. You know, although your mother had an influence on you. Right. But your father.
Well, that was for your moral. That was for your moral upbringing, though. Your mum's influence.
Yeah, but
that's your moral upbringing, innit? Your father's is like your heritage upbringing, innit? Your mother is the one who puts the rules in you, innit?
Yeah.
So she ain't got time.
I don't feel black. I feel half caste. I feel half and
Well,
half.
to tell the
don't
truth,
feel.
you know something though?
Yeah.
I said to Vanessa Brioli once when we were in the Huntsman. So once Vanessa had a couple and she'd get started even last week. Yeah, but you think you're full black. So I said, but Vanessa, I just think I'm David Joan, don't me? I said, so yeah. I don't really. For instance, the only time you really sort of get aware of the colour thing is if somebody says it to you. You know, like you're walking out, you're going wherever you're going. You're not consciously aware of your colour, are you? You know, if you go somewhere now, being consciously aware means that you're self-conscious, doesn't it? You understand what I mean?
I think it depends where I am. Sometimes I am.
Oh, if you're not in your own home area.
Yeah. Sometimes I am.
Well, I'll tell you where.
Do you know what I love?
When we worked in Shropshire in the middle of nowhere, me and Paul. What? Fucking hell. I've never experienced it. We went in this pub. You know, like these films where the stranger walks in.
Yeah.
What happened was, not only also, but the women in there straight away like got the bags in.
Yeah.
You know, but they did. It was like
no, exactly.
It was natural for them to do that. One day I said to Paul, let's have a curry. We were doing a cottage up, so we were staying there a week. It was the middle of nowhere, 4 houses in this village. So we went to this place called Bishop's Castle, right? So they got one big supermarket. So we went in there. We bought some meat, some lamb from the farmers. Anyway, we went in this thing to get some curry powder. So there's 2 girls behind the desk and that. So I said, excuse me, whereabouts is your curry powder? Manager wanted. They didn't even sell curry powder.
Wow.
This is on the A49, this.
Yeah.
You know the A49?
Yeah.
It goes all the way to London.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a fork road like this. This Bishop's Castle. Another time we got to see Sham when he was in Stoke Heath. He was only 17. Because I wasn't driving. You know when you're not driving. When you're driving, you kind of know the ways. I've been a few times driving, but I wasn't driving this time. So Paul, his son's driving. So he went, which it was like a fork road like this, and he said, which way is it now, Dave? So I went, I couldn't, because I wasn't driving. It's weird to explain. You kind of know, once you've been somewhere once, you kind of know.
Yeah.
You're
an autopilot.
Yeah, but because he was driving, so I said, yeah, I'll pull up on this garage. So there was a garage on the side of the road, A49, and there was a guy sweeping the leaves. Oh God, I can't wait. I said, excuse me, mate. I said, rather than ask for the nick, there's an army base next to it. Turnhill Army Base. So I said, excuse me, mate, everybody who lives in, there's only one army base in fucking Shropshire. Excuse me, mate, whereabouts is Turnhill? You know what he said to me? Whereabouts you come from? I said, what do you mean? Whereabouts have I come from? I said, well, what kind of fucking... I said,
He might have just meant, have you come from Manchester?
But what did it have to do with him when I said to him, whereabouts is Turnhill? I said, well, that's when we were working there. Tewson's, the builders.
Yeah.
So there's 4 cottages in this village. And it's a country road leading to it, off the A49, about 3 miles long. And you can see it winds up, because we were on a hill. So this wagon's coming all the way up to the... Finally, me and Paul went having a cup of tea waiting for our materials to arrive. He finally pulls up in his big wagon, so he puts up, brakes up, window winds down. Don't see many of you Birmingham fellas round here. Please.
I was in Haywood. I lived in Downhill for a bit.
Right.
Right. And I got mates with another artist, two brothers, Steve and Ivan. And we went to a pub in the middle of Haywood.
Haywood, Lancashire?
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Right. So everybody in them days used to do the rub up.
Yeah.
You know, to the regular club.
Yeah.
So I'm in this pub with this girl. I don't do the rub up.
Yeah.
Next thing, I've got the bouncers either side of me.
Yeah.
Here. I said, it's a dance, man. Bad. Oh, it was bad. Was that bad? This dance. Honestly, they had a terrible time with that.
Speaking of Haywood, do you remember George Guy? He was in jail when we were there. He was Tyrone's brother. Tyrone, don't you remember him? He went to live in Haywood. I saw him.
That Downhill estate was stupid.
What about singing?
To the Wild West.
What about Abbey Hills? Then did you ever go to Abbey Hills in Oldham?
No.
Why? What's that?
Oh
A
no!
prison?
You know, when you think about deprived areas, people don't realise. You know these old mill towns, but they built council estates on them. Horrendous, honest. Poverty. When our Julie, when she lost Calvin, she had a boy who was 40, got meningitis, he died anyway. This is 1974. Anyway, she moved to London. Some of her mates sent for her, she moved to London, she worked in London for a bit. Then she decided to come home. So, about 6 years later or whatever, so the only place she could get was near Mosley Common. It was called Lee, somewhere Lee. Anyway, I went to see it a couple of times, and it was like all the council houses were because of the coal mining in the area. All the bricks had gone fucking black, right? And it was raining, it was winter and everything. And fucking hell. Anyway, one day she phoned me. She went, I want to move back to, I'm moving back to Winningshaw. Will you help you stand, get a van? Yeah. I said, why, what's up? She went, the final straw was one day I was going somewhere and I come out of the house. And I said to one of my neighbours, excuse me, you know what time it is? And the neighbour said to her, what do you want to know time for when you're on door?
Oh.
She knew it was time to leave. I stayed there a couple of times and I went to a chip shop one night. I said, Julie, where's your chip shop? She said, oh, what's wrong? Anyway, I went there. So I said, can I have fish chips and peas? Whatever Julie was having. Fish chips and peas. And she said to me, was that black peas or green peas? Oh, no, because they've got black peas up, don't they? You know when you move out of Manchester?
Yeah.
Just a few miles away.
Yeah.
It's, like for instance, if you go to Stockport, it's totally different. Stockport is totally different than Manchester. It's just a different, they've got a different language.
A different way.
All right, love. Yeah, they say all right.
From Stockport, Snowy from Stockport.
You know,
Not Idris.
No, I know.
Snowy used to have a cane. Used to have a cane with him.
Don't you mean Clarkie?
Yeah, it was Snowy.
I'm not sure.
Clarkie had a round face.
Yeah.
Right. But Snowy used to have a cane.
Dead,
Yeah, he used to have a little cane. He used to walk with a cane all the time. But it was a knife in it.
Oh, a sword stick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no Clarkie.
What's the last time you went down the Reno?
What was the last time?
What's the last time you went down the Reno, Barrie?
Me?
Oh, I can't remember the last time.
It must have been. When did it 3 years?
It was, I reckon I went about 3 or 4 months before it closed.
Some shit.
Our side was
Long
got
before
brick,
then, it was about 12 months before it closed.
It was horrendous, wasn't it? The Reno's closing.
No.
No.
But by then, you see, I'd sort of moved on and got that bit older.
Yeah.
Right. I'd started working at the airport.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that airport job means life changes.
Yeah.
Because you're doing like 12-hour shifts and you've no time to sort of socialise, if you like.
Do you remember when Les had the big alley? Did he ever go in? No, Les who had roots.
Yeah.
Did he ever go in when he had the
The
big alley?
little alley.
No, he had.
The little western.
No, he had the big alley. The big Alexander on Prinny Road corner.
No.
He had that first when he came to Manchester.
I'm quite a bit younger than you, Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got that one in. No, I'm born in 59.
Right. Dwight Ian Thingy used to go in there. Dwight Ian Thingy ended up with one of his stepdaughters. Oh, what's it called? Taylor. Robert Taylor. Yeah, he ended up with one of Julie. He ended up with Julie because his missus she had 4 kids. No, she had 3 kids. So Mickey Roberts, who's like a gangster from the Quality Street gang, she got off with Les. Yow's still with us though. Remember Yow?
Oh yeah.
Yow, yeah, he still lives on Gooch Estate. I saw him in the thingy the other week. Well, the other month. The Royal Oak in Shortland.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said to me, "Oh, you're a fucking mate." So what's to do with it? That fucking troublemaker, Les Williams. No, but he's a lovely guy, Yow. He's a lovely guy, Yow. You know, so because Les is dead, Les is gone now.
Les had the little
No, Les, old Ben used to.
He used to have the little western though, didn't he?
Oh.
He did.
He didn't. He had roots. He had the Talbot pub opposite. That was the little western was there, but when you moved around the corner, Roots was on the corner. He used to come and sit in there. The memory's going. Roots.
No, definitely.
That's where everybody ended up going.
Yeah, that's you ever know.
Roots. He didn't have the little western.
Oh, that's what I'm mixing up the names then.
Yeah, the little.
Sexbury Road.
Yeah, the little western was. If you came from Yarby Street, the little western was first, and that was an Irish gaff.
Yeah.
And as you moved on,
I'm just mixing up the names.
As you moved on to around on the bend, that was Roots. Les had that.
Yeah.
But he had the big alley first. Then he moved to.
I've rarely been in the big alley.
That was.
No, I'm mixed up. I'm thinking of the Big Western.
Oh, you've
I've rarely been in the Big Western.
Oh, I've been in there. I've been in there quite a bit actually. Quite like the Big Western. But that's Thingy's got it, hasn't she? Still, Pat. Henry, Pat.
Oh yeah. Ah shit.
Yeah, Thingy Henry's.
That's a long time.
I know. Well, she had the Robin Hood. She had the Robin Hood first, didn't she?
That's decades she's had that then.
It was Ruddy. She was with Ruddy, wasn't she? Yeah. Do you ever remember the Edinburgh?
I'm too young.
Oh, I don't remember the Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Don Tony used to run that.
Yeah, I remember Don Tony. He used to work in his off licence.
Oh, did you? Which one?
On Alec Road, right near the end of the park. I was only about 12 or 13.
That's where the Edinburgh was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Edinburgh was upstairs.
On the same building.
I think it was the same building. Yeah. Was it the end shop before the park?
The end shop before the park.
Yeah, the Edinburgh was just there. It was around the corner.
Right. Well, I'm only 12 or 13, and I only work in the day.
Right.
I went in and just said, "Can I have a job?"
Who's the done?
And he said, "Yeah." He just said, "Yeah."
Don't tell me.
Imagine though, I used to serve. It was an off licence at that age.
Right.
Yeah, you couldn't do that now, could you?
A lot of things you can't do.
Yeah.
Well, Alec Road was a beautiful road, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
It had its own woolies.
It had everything.
Yeah, and it's all gone and it just demolished for no reason. Like Prinny Road shops. Prinny Road shops was no reason to demolish them.
Alec Road was gone a long time before Prinny Road was gone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Prinny Road is gone because we burnt it down in the riot.
Yeah.
But Alec Road was gone 5 years at least before that. Wasn't it?
I used to go in that herbal shop on Alec Road.
Oh yeah.
Well, they moved to Thingy. Yeah, they moved to Thingy. They moved to Winslow Road then. And then where Quicksave is.
I used to buy the herbs.
Make formula.
Right, yeah. Just go downtown and sell it. Or Oxo Cube.
Yeah.
And sell
with black.
Yeah.
Spanish was always a good one.
The police nicked me once, right, on Piccadilly Station, so I was going like that. Oh, right. So they nicked me, took me to Whitworth Street Police Station. So I said, It's Oxo.
Mm.
Got you.
Yeah, it's the intent.
Yeah. Got to do, you know, for
Supply pretenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, supply false pretense. It didn't do me in the end, it just threw me out, gave me a slap and threw me out.
Mm.
Right. But yeah, you sold loads of that, Oxo.
Hey, they're demolishing Bootle Street, aren't they? Going to build a big block there.
Have they?
Yeah. It's no longer in use by the police, is
No,
it?
spent some nights in there.
Oh, no.
Down in Minster Street, so.
Oh, with the big red bars. Remember that big weight, that big holding room? Fucking hell. But it's funny, no, it's funny though, isn't it? Because when you were in there, it was only petty. You knew you weren't going to the big house.
No.
It's when you went to the Crown, you knew. Because the magistrates.
John Bamber.
He was great. He was a stipendary magistrate.
Yeah. I was before him 3 times in one day.
Mm.
Right. And he said, this can't be right.
Good.
Right. I've seen this lad this morning. He gave me a £10 fine or something.
Mm.
Right. Saw me again. Right.
For 3 different crimes.
3 times arrested over nonsense. One was for being on Piccadilly Station.
Oh, that's proper
Right.
nonsense.
So, because you need to go and do your drugs on there, didn't you?
Mm.
Right. So they arrested me for that and put me forward for trespass. And that was the last one for trespass. Right. And he said, no. Threw it out. Right. Said, no.
Oh, he couldn't throw anything out.
He was brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, he was a proper
I
gentleman.
must have had more fines
Mm.
off him. Never, ever. When I finally get to the Crown Court, I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet the police must have hated Bamber because he just wouldn't have it, would he?
No.
Because what happened was he planted some weed on his son years, see.
I knew there was a story attached to him.
Yeah.
I know the name.
He planted weed on his son, and he never would allow the police to. He used to say things like, "How much did you pay for that?" £10. Right, £10 fine. Yeah. Everybody loved Bamber.
Yeah.
Everybody loved, and he was a gentleman. He always used to wear a dicky bow. You know, when you go to these clubs, they wear like a white. It's a certain kind of jacket they wear, isn't they?
Yeah.
He wore that sort of clothing, didn't he? And half glasses and benign. You know, he looked the part, and he'd always say to the police. And then, you know, he used to they'd be fucking sweating and scratching and all that. No, because if you knew he was at court number 8, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Court number 8, Bamber, you knew. I'm in 8, you know, he looks at this. I'm in 8.
Years old.
Yeah. I'm in 8. Once you knew he was in court 8, you knew he was coming home.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
What court's he in? 8. Like, fucking hell. The police in 8 if you're in court 8. Try the best not to get, you know what I mean? Put you in front of some woman who's got like a fucking dead pheasant on top of her head from Winslow.
Do you want a cig?
No more sick.
I want a wee.
You got a wee?